Hello, it's Pema Choepel Mallu, and I'm going to talk about some medical tips for your dogs. And you'll have to excuse me, but I'm going to have to read some notes, so I'll be looking away from the camera a few times. The first thing you should do is feed them with no-grain food. And as far as the type of bowls you should use, I prefer ceramic bowls or glass bowls. I don't like plastic bowls because they emit toxic substances. And also metal bowls or stainless steel bowls actually pick up the electromagnetic frequencies around the home and put that into the water, which isn't good energies for the dog. So I avoid metal or stainless steel bowls. Always use filtered water or bottled water. Don't use tap water because there are too many chemicals in tap water. And also if you use an automatic water fountain, there are which they have water fountains for dogs or for pets. A lot of them come in plastic, but there is a ceramic one that you can buy on Amazon.com. So get the ceramic water fountain. Also, when you're feeding them treats, you want to feed no-grain treats. There's plenty of freeze-dried meat treats and also sweet potato and meat treats that you can get. Make sure they're not made in China, though, especially ones that you get from the other than specialty pet food stores. A lot of the main chain stores have treats that are made in China, so you need to check the back of the bags. As far as their teeth, you want to avoid antlers and hooves because they're too hard and they can break the teeth. And also you don't want to feed marrow bones or leg bones or shank bones because the cortex on those weight-bearing bones is too thick and it will break their back molars in the back of their teeth, in the back of their mouth, and it may even break some of their premolars in the front of their mouth. It's also good to clean their teeth daily or 3 times a week. You can put a cloth on your finger, or they actually make doggy toothbrushes or little what look like finger cots that you slide over your finger that have little prickles on the side to break down the tartar on the teeth, or at least the slime layer on the teeth. And you can purchase doggy toothpaste at the pet store or at your veterinarian's office. Another thing that's not good for the teeth is obsessive tennis ball playing. The fiber on a tennis ball will wear down the teeth and wear down especially the canine teeth to the point that you need to get a root canal and capping of the teeth. One thing that is good for chewing behavior for dogs are bully sticks, which, if you don't know what those are, they're steer or bull penises. And they like them, and they're soft enough that they don't break the teeth, but they're hard enough to give them a chewing obsession to help them with wearing down the tartar on their teeth. Dried trachea or dried tendons are also okay. Pig ears are also okay. Another item to think about is on their collars, never put dog tags on a choker chain. And in addition to that, you should never keep a choker chain on a dog in the house. It should only be on a leash. As soon as the leash comes off, the choker chain comes off. What can happen with those tags on a choker chain is they can get caught in the register, on the floor register, and then when they get up, it'll pull on the choker chain and choke them to death. I've actually seen that happen, and it's devastating when it happens. Also, dogs that are playing with choke collars with tags on them have been known to get caught with each other and choke themselves while playing, so that's pretty bad too. With puppies, touch their feet daily and touch their mouth daily so they get used to having their feet touched and their mouth touched, so they have they're used to having their teeth cleaned and they're used to having their nails trimmed. Now, as far as training, it's good for you to speak to your dog in a positive phrases instead of negative phrases, because what happens when you're speaking in positive phrases is you're forming mental pictures as you speak to them, and they pick up on the mental pictures. They don't actually listen to the words. So for an example, if you are getting ready to leave, you don't want to say, "Don't get on the couch," because all they see is getting on the couch. You need to tell them to hang out on the floor, play with your toys while I'm away, and I will be back at sunset. So they see the picture of you coming back at sunset, and they see the picture of them hanging out on the floor with their toys. Always walk with your dogs on the left side and have them sit before you leave the house. When you're sitting at the door, have them sit first so that they can wait before you open the door so that you leave first. It's always important that you leave first and you're the master instead of them bolting out the door. And then when you take them for a walk, it's good for you to have them walking by your side instead of walking out ahead of you, because walking out ahead of you is them being in control. And it isn't very good control for them to be out up ahead of you, especially when other dogs come around. You don't know how they're going to behave. I'm very against the extended leash. The extended leash gives you no control over them, and sometimes they cause accidents, and sometimes they jam or they break, and the dog gets loose. In one incident, a little Maltese was on an extended leash, and it was on the free lead, and the owner bent down to pick up his poop, and while she was bending down to pick up his poop, he went off the extended leash into the road, got hit by a car, and ran over his tail. And this is just a little Maltese, and we had to amputate his tail. So that's a devastating story about one of those extended leashes. I think that's about all I have to say. I think I ran out of my notes. So if you have any other thoughts, you can email me. My email is drpemamallu@gmail.com. And you can also Facebook me at Dr. Pema Choepel Mallu, facebook.com/Dr. Pema Choepel Mallu. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.